It's hard to sit right now, while she's at a festival for 4 days, knowing I can afford a festival, I can be a festival, I don't have a job, I don't have excuses, I've earned the festival, I can do that. But I decided on I feel enlightened. It's a bit windy, it's 6 p.m.-ish now in Melbourne, Australia. The temperature is going down, yet I'm still in my singlet. I feel better. I always don't know how to start these YouTube videos because I'm like, if a new person clicks it, how do I introduce them to me? Do I just go straight into what I'm doing, but they don't know me? So I'm like, hi, I'm Andrew, hello. I feel a bit weird. Like, people treat online and social media as like this whole different thing. It is human beings on the other side of the screen. When somebody subscribes to you, it's like, hey, I watched that thing that you did, and it was like, if it's me, it's like you, and I liked what you were saying, and I'd like to hang out with you more. Do you know what I'd like to hang out with you more? It's like a friend. And people forget, so I'm like, hi friend, basically. If you're new, hi, we can be friends. If you're old, we're friends. So happy birthday. Anyway, I'm going through the breakup. It's the topic of the circumstance. So she's now going to go to a festival tomorrow where she gets her rig off at festivals, which happens, and we do that together and, everything. And then I have got, for the next 4 or 5 days, I've just got an image of my ex-partner from 2.5 weeks ago running around naked, nothing on, in a festival full of gorgeous, free human beings, and that is not what I'm doing. I am locking the fuck in. So that's tough. How does that make me feel? That makes me feel like I instantly want to be like, I want to invite 50 women to my place. But that is the wrong thing to do, because all I'm trying to do is avoid hurt, right? That is her path, that's not my path. Literally the reasons was that one of our reasons was I was quite locked in, and she was saying she was locked in without locking in. So, we want large things. If you want to build, for example, a massive social media following, if you want to create life-changing money, if you want to write a book that changes humanity, this takes full effort, full control. It takes a perfect diet. It takes no narcotics, no alcohol. It takes great exercise. It takes great sleep. And only then you've got a baseline to even start to consider that I'm going to win at something and going to actually start building that. And anyway, that's there. But she's also younger. So it's like I've got this thing like, hey, you also don't have to lock in at this point. But she was saying that I will lock in. Like, she convinced herself that she wanted to lock in. I was then like, look how much awesome things there are in life. And she's like, these are all awesome things. I don't really need to lock in or want to lock in. I can just be young and enjoy all these things. And I lost her, essentially. It's funny because as I'm saying this, I realized that a couple of weeks in, I actually told her, I was like, this is how we end. And this is bad. I said, you're gonna use me up, and then when you're done with me, you will move on. I don't say that in a bad way. It's not like a conscious thing that she'll use me up. What I realized at that point is there was a lot of things that had in my life that there was a novelty. Firstly, I don't have a job, so I'm free. I'm a best-selling author. I have lots of businesses. I sometimes can get intoxicated. I sometimes have months and months on time of super plugged in. I love experiences. I love high dopamine activities. I like things which are amazing. I'm fit, healthy, all these things which obviously in her mind weren't accessible to her, yet she continuously said that, no, we're the same, which she later down the track realized that she was doing. Point is, I think that's what happened, that you got a lot of all this novelty, you've seen all this novelty, and then even though I said, look, this is all good things, but you still have to plug in and then enjoy novelty throughout your life, not as the main thing, So she used that, and then I was like, I kept trying to lock in, and I was like, we need to do the stuff that's hard. It's hard to sit right now, you know, while she's at a festival for 4 days, knowing I can afford a festival, I can be a festival, I don't have a job, I don't have excuses, I've earned the festival, I can do that. But I decided on my goal and my vision, and that is more important to me than a potential pleasure-filled experiences, because I've had a lot of those. So if this person hasn't had a lot of those, clearly the pleasure stimulus from there is a lot. And anyway, point is, she wasn't really ready to sacrifice, and it could be age, it could be a lot of things. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because probably to make myself feel better, but I know I can't compete. I shouldn't compete with women. In fact, it's okay for me to be in solitude. I feel like it's okay for me to be in solitude. Solitude. But really, it's okay for me to be in solitude. I'm day 9 today of the cut has continued. I'm still numb, but I'm on so low cals 1200 while working out that, like, I feel like I need to up them just to have my body kind of be a little more okay. I don't want it to be like too, so, you know, there's that. But overall, I'm feeling not bad. It's been another day with family, being able to help out. It's nice. Person asked me how's being with family, and I'm like, good. And they're like, oh, it's still in a honeymoon period. And I'm like, no. Like, when I visit home, I love home. Like, but they're so different. That's fine. People are different. People are different. People are different. People have different views from you. People have different opinions. All of this is just designed through their experiences in life. They have a bunch of experiences, and that designs their reality, and then it designs their actions, and then they show up a certain way. And most of the time it's going to be different to yours, and some of them will be like, oh, that's really different to mine, right? To me and my family is really different. But that's okay. That happens. Like, it is, in my opinion, mum, dad have child. This child shares a bit of DNA, but their job is to just cultivate and be like, look, here's the world, you can do anything and be anybody. And be anybody and be anything. I think that's the ultimate parenting. You are loved every day. We are here as a safety net. Use us for when you need us. Ask us questions. Tell us. We'll help paint a picture of the world. And the picture of the world that we're going to paint for you, the belief systems, is that everything's available to you. And you can do anything in the world. So all you've got to do is try a bunch of things and choose what you like to do and do that. And that's it. Parenting. Win. Killer. But that's okay. People get noisy. People get so noisy in their heads, just so noisy about things. And all that noise is because we're just bombarded by so much information. And then we take all this information and it's like, oh, well, I need to know that. And oh, I wasn't feeling, my child lashed out at me. Yes, I know I probably should do that as parent. And we do all these things. And a lot of the times the biggest movements, the biggest needles in the world are moved by underlying beliefs. Take your underlying belief under the whole thing and be like, check it out. So my underlying belief with my partner was the age gap was too large. That's my underlying belief. But that is sad as hell. That is sad as hell, I think. It's sad. It's sad, but I've kind of been around people, so it's been a little easier. So when I go home again and I'm going to be alone, I guess I'm going to be sadder. But my rig is looking better, so I guess I'm going to be a little happier. But I'm still going to be numb, sad. Then the plans for the party, where I'm inviting everybody. I don't know if I'm going to go through with that. Everybody, no good, but I am still leaning towards maybe invite a female partner. But then it feels like emotionally I'm cheating on the other person. Or then I'm doing this get back against the festival, like, you're having a good time, I need to have a good time. But then if like, you're not going to have a good time, then I'll be like, I'm not going to have a good time and I'm going to be better than you. I can't do that either. Because then what I'm doing is I'm creating like a hierarchy system. And even though I know I'm doing it to make myself feel better, I know it's not real. It's not real. Her going to a festival or not going to a festival has no impact on my life. But, sorry, everybody chooses what they choose, but, you know, I'm not better than. I'm not better than. Maybe the fuck I am. Maybe I am better. But I don't know, not better. Wiser to the fact that when you are faced with a lot of pain, that's not the time to go and ruin your brain cells and then fight that way back. So, and that was the upsetting thing. If you watched last video, I was like, you're gonna have to be sober for 2 months at least before I speak to you. And she's like, that may be, you know, in 5 to 6 months. And that's sad. And so I lose my best friend because she doesn't want to face the emotions of this crumbling apart. Anyway, I hope she's going to be okay. I hope she's okay. She's a smart cookie. She's going to be okay. On to the next. Not on to the next woman. I'm banned. Andrew's banned. But remember, I've given myself... I've told you this. We're friends. New Year's Day is still... I might be allowed. I might be allowed New Year's Day. I might be allowed. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Might be allowed. If I am, then great. But that's all I'm allowed. It's not like a cycle to now fall in love with another person or continue seeing people. No. It's lock-in period. But really, I did say... no sex till rig. No sex till rig. No sex till rig. And I probably should honour that. But I've got New Year's as a... Look, I'm telling you, I've got New Year's as a thing. So that is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. It's funny. I literally watch myself. I'm bargaining with myself. Like, what a weak trait. But it's not a weak trait. It kind of is. But I'm bargaining with myself. I can see it happening. I know the good thing to do, but I'm still bargaining with myself. So I could have gone 3 options. I could have just avoided my feelings, which I'm facing my feelings. I could have slept with a bunch of people. I didn't. I could have kept partying. I didn't. Instead, I'm working, I'm doing good things. And what I've done instead, as I said, I've given myself 1 day. I'm going to allow myself 1 day to let my hair down. And that is all. That's a good compromise, I think. It was a heavy relationship. I'm allowed to feel that. I'm allowed to feel that. I don't need to be like man about it. I'm allowed to feel that. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I hope this ramble was useful. Much love. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow.